Anyway, good luck, have fun, everybody. We're getting started right here, right now, following the perspective of Karma for a little bit here on the start. First, second jump, and then the third drop down right there, followed by a fourth drop down. See, there's 4 transitions into 2 seconds there. So, start a little bit tricky, but then we get into the full speed proper, and a huge amount of transition jumps over there. As Karma will be left behind quite significantly, as long with Yami-chan as well. 4 tenths down, let's try to get further up ahead, following the perspective of Imon, sitting in third. And getting overwhelmed by the reWals purple boys. And you can see every rev moving ahead of Imon, trying to mount a challenge versus the reWals purple guys. And you can see Switch having a bit of a problem there and getting a little bit slowed down. Zimzalabin in the meantime will be continuing to hold the lead and will be able to retain said lead and take the win. A 1-3-5 checkerboard, 1-3-4 checkerboard even in favor of reWals purple. With Zimzalabin finishing in first, Everywhere in second, Yami-chan and Switch MD in third and fourth place. It will be the point first blood for Team reWals purple. 1-0. Okay, every rev going a little bit wider, maybe a bit safer through the start, but it doesn't pay off just at the last possible transition before the start of the full speed sections proper. And that is 1 key member down for Team SHIFTy as we're moving through the perspective of Switch. Yami-chan in the lead, pulling a 10th of a lead ahead of Imon in second place. Switch MD and Karma battling tooth and nail for third position. Zimzalabim in P5. Acting as an independent adjudicator, but you can see Yami-chan is just completely gone in the distance. 3 tenths of a lead against Imod. Zimzalabim moving up into third at the expense of Switch. And actually Imod looking a little bit slow at the exit of that wall right there just before the reverse turnover. And the end of the finish line, Zimzalabim will overtake Imod for second place. It will be a 1-2 for reWals purple with a 0.497 being driven by Yami-chan. Zimzalabim in second, Imod in third, Switch in P4, and those will be the only 4 players to reach the finish line, as every rev and Karma have become casualties of Alondite. Bet for reWals and have a pink too, really? Oh, that's weird. I don't really control that thing though, so... Oh, that's a very big crash for Zim. Zim is dead. Zim is dead. And that means we're down to a 2-2 actually, because Karma has also been lost into the ether at this point. So Yami-chan, Imot, every rev and Switch. That could be a draw, guys. Let's go back to the perspective of every rev for a bit, shall we? Every rev looking a little bit faster at the entrance to that wall right into tube compared to Imot, so he will be switching positions with his teammate. In the meantime, Yami-chan is not able to be caught up by every rev, and that will be a 1-2-3-4 for that particular round, and it will be a draw. 0.401 being driven by Yami-chan though. Respectable time. So yeah, first draw being done on stream today. This is the first time I'm seeing a draw today here in an FSM match. Yeah, Zimzalabum. That is, he went from Zumzalabim to Zimzalabum. Oh, that's a very heavy crash. That's Imot and Karma as well. SHIFTy being completely decimated. That start, probably the most damaging section, and then every rev completely bunging out the exit from that particular tube section, and he's gonna fall off. He has fallen and he cannot get up at all. Nobody can get up from the side of Team SHIFTy, and it will be just all 3 reWals purple members left to just take to the finish line. Yami-chan ahead of Switch, ahead of Zimzalabim, but Switch was very, very slow, allowing Yami-chan... Oh, actually, no, I thought Yami-chan was in second, but no, Yami-chan was all the way in first, right up until the bitter end, and it is an ace for Team reWals purple, although out of circumstance, that ace, it must be said, with the demise, very premature demise of Team SHIFTy. Not even 1 sector through, and all 3 have been pushed into retirement. Okay, following perspective of Karma, went too wide on the exit of the platform. Can he still keep it? Yeah, he still manages to get across that particular tube, but I think he's not gonna have enough speed for the rest of the sections. Yeah, he's done. He's completely done for. And thus, one player out already, 2v3. This is not looking good for Team SHIFTy. No, it's FreeRev who's doing a pretty solid performance for Team SHIFTy in this round, and battling amongst Yami-chan and SwitchMD for the benefit of the lead of the race, actually. But Yami-chan is just starting to pull away here at the start of the third sector, as we're moving onto the tube, then onto the wall right just before the drop down. FreeRev is still sitting pretty in second position, a few thousandths ahead of SwitchMD, and actually plenty of time to be made up for second place, but actually it will not matter because third and fourth are squarely in the way of reWals Purple. So they will continue to amass points. 4-0. Still no points on the board for Team SHIFTy. FreeRev having a bit of a sluggish start compared to the rest of the field, but still managing to keep it on the road and keep it away from the walls. That will mean for the Dutchman a quarter of a second, even 3/10 of a lead, or deficit rather, compared to the leading duo of Zimzalabim and Yami-chan. Clear ahead. Imot in the meantime battling versus Switch for third position, and we're currently following the perspective of the Chaser for said third position. The entry into the tube, roughly equal, but Zimzalabim forced to concede a lot of time compared to Yami-chan. Switch sitting pretty in third place. It will be another ace going the way of Team reWals Purple. Switch making the move for second position ahead of Zimzalabim. He will make the move stick. No! Oh my god. My fucking connection, man. I thought both crashed, but no, it turns out that it was just my connection lagging out. Oh, god. I just want to... Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to give you heart attacks like this, but yeah. Blame it on Bouygues. Blame it on Bouygues, guys. Whoa, FreeRev, that was looking very close to the edge of the outside wall right there. Managing to keep it off the wall still. Quarter of a second down on the leading trio of Karma, Zimzalabim, and Yami-chan. Actually, following the perspective of Karma for a little bit, shall we? Switch and Yami-chan got ahead of the Shift player from France. Zimzalabim will be up next to try and dislodge Karma for third position. And yeah, he was looking very, very slow. FreeRev is also following along with him. Zimzalabim still sitting in fourth, as a matter of fact. FreeRev up into third. But a 1-2 should still be enough for reWals Purple to get the point on their hands. Point 376 for Yami-chan. 3/10 clear of Switch. FreeRev in third, separating Zimzalabim from his teammates, but it's still the point for RW Purple. 6-0. One more round before the first 3v3 is in the bag. Oh, we have a crash. We have a crash from someone. That was one of the Switch, one of the reWals Purple members. That was Zimzalabim, who clipped on the wall just before the final drop down. So he's out of the running, and that is a very, very big bonk for Karma right there from the perspective of FreeRev. So we're down to an even 2 versus 2 now between the two teams, and so far it is advantage to Switch and Yami-chan first and second. FreeRev catching up to his teammate Imot, moving up into third place at the expense of his own German teammates. And now moving on to try and take charge, trying to lead an assault on the leading positions. But he's gonna have a lot to catch up and not that much road left to go in order to make the move happen. And that move will not happen anytime soon. Switch and Yami-chan have got this round under lock and key. Switch winning ahead of Yami-chan, and it is the GG for Team reWals Purple. 0.658 for Switch MD, and Yami-chan in second position. 0.731. 7-0. For reWals Purple, who take the first 3 versus 3 that was up for grabs, and we'll be moving on to our next map, which is going to be Red Line by Switch. Celias, in the meantime, has joined into the match, and I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing her play. Celias moved herself to the proper team. Oh, when it comes to people, when it comes to like trans people and stuff like that, I hope I'm getting the pronounce right, because yeah, sometimes I forget, sometimes I tend to mess up and so on and so forth. I don't really want to mess up the pronounce that much. I think it's her for Celeste. I'm not sure. Might need to re-ask for confirmation again. It's been a while. But yeah, moving on to Redline, the map from Switch. A map that I really enjoyed playing, as I said on the first match. Not as insidious as, for instance, Danger to Manifold in terms of like how the camber changes on some of the maps and so on and so forth. But yeah, moving on to the match proper, and we're getting started right away actually. So Celiast and Eito moving in for Zimzalabim and for Switch MD. And LOL Gamer and Raven pulling in for Kama and Imots as we're moving onto the match itself proper. We'll be doing a prediction a little bit later on and for 5 minutes. In the meantime, let's get back to the business of the proper round. Raven at the tail end of the leading group right now. 6th position for him, a quarter of a second down on the leader, which is currently Celiast, pulling clear of Yami-chan. Every Raven, LOL Gamer, 3rd and 4th. Eito trying to challenge LOL Gamer's 4th position right now. Let's go on the perspective with him. Actually, it's Yami-chan that we're going to be moving along with as he takes over the lead from Celiast, who's now under threat from LOL Gamer, was under threat from Every Rev, but Every Rev crashed out on the outside wall. So it will be a 1-2 for reWals goal, which will be more than enough for them to secure the point. And actually, I saw that Zimzalabim was also on the start-finish line. So, actually, yeah, just let me close the first prediction. Just noticed that. And second prediction. So, 1-0 for reWals Purple. Okay, prediction started now. Let's get back to the front of the field, shall we? Every Rev getting a solid start, leading into the first sector ahead of Yami-chan, following along with Raven, going very low just before the transition into the platform. As Celiast will be now on the back foot, if I can go along with Celiast, if I may. Yeah, Celiast has made a huge mistake, and she's going to be out of the running. Yami-chan ahead of Every Rev, LOL Gamer, and Eito. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Zim's been forced into spectator, and looks as though that might be the point finally for Team Shift. The first point of the entire match, let alone a sub-match, for the SHIFTy team. Yami-chan leading, Eito under threat from Raven, but it will not matter for them. 2, 3, 5. Actually, that's a good question. Is it live already? I mean, I started casting when they said GLHF, so I wonder. Okay, we're treating it like it's live. So, round 3 right now, 1-1 between the two teams. A little bit of confusion there on this start of the second match, not gonna lie. But so far, Celiast, Yami-chan, LOL Gamer, 1, 2, 3. Every Rev in P4, Eito in P5. Oh, that's a barrel roll into retirement for LOL Gamer. Raven will be there to try and pick up the slack, trying to get onto the challenge for 2nd position. Nobody asked ready, it was just straight good luck, have fun. Look, it's a GLHF already in the... I assumed that was GLHF that just meant to go ahead, but apparently no. There's a huge amount of confusion actually. So according to Celiast, it's live. So reWals got the point on round 3 in the meantime. I'm continuing to discuss the confusion. I'm very sorry about this. Yami-chan in the meantime leading ahead of Eito, Celiast, 1, 2, 3. Everybody seems confused. Like it's not just me. I feel like everybody is confused and bewildered. Celiast, Raven, that's the battle for third place. Following along with Celiast now that we can actually spectate her. Yay! Currently, she has the upper hand over Raven. Raven, which we're currently following along with now. And yeah, it feels like the positions will stay as is. Yami-chan, Eito, and Celiast. 1, 2, 3. It is the ace for Team reWals Purple. 54.284. Being driven by Yami-chan there, who drove a point 152 a little bit beforehand, either during the pregame warm-up or one of the early rounds of this map. Again, for context, record is a 53.533. So 3-1 for reWals Purple for now. Oh, Raven, that was very, very close to the edge on the inside wall just before the bump road. So far, no casualties to actually report. All 6 drivers still in one piece on the road. As Raven has dropped a lot of time here in that loop to wall right section, so he will be a little bit out of the spectrum for making any kind of impact. Following along with Raven again. Moving on to every rev now. Battling for second versus Celia. Celia's going very wide, and she's going to be crashing out with that very bad bump on the reception. Yami-chan leading ahead of every rev. Lol Gamer, Eito, and that will mean the point for Team reWals Purple. That crash from Steliast has been an important point here in that round because Eito was way too far back to try and salvage a situation to enforce a draw here. So, second point going the way of Team SHIFTy, allowing them to bridge the gap to a single point. Following along with every rev, getting a solid entry into the bump road just before this tube section. Yami-chan leading ahead of Raven, getting a little bit more speed compared to every rev. Eito as well. Every rev looking a little bit slow. Lol Gamer in P5, and actually Celiast a little bit further down in P6. She's still in there, but she didn't have the best of first sectors, that's for sure. Now moving ahead with every rev bound to P4. Oh, he's looking very low here at the exit. He's going to lose a lot of speed, allowing Lol Gamer to move up into 4th place. But it looks as though Eito and Yami-chan are where they need to be for reWals Gold. First and second. reWals Gold, reWals Purple, sorry. First and second. Raven looking very far on the outside. Crashing into the finish line. Still getting the trigger for this finish line, but it wouldn't exactly matter because, again, first and second for Eito and for Yami-chan. Yami-chan top fragger so far in this sub-match with 36 points. To his account, 21 points for Eito, but yeah, 15-point difference between first and second in terms of the point scoring. Much more homogeneous performance for Team SHIFTy, but so far the round 1 count has been very, very meager. Celiast hugging the inside apex wall just before the wall right in loop. Now, Yami-chan, Eito, first and second. Raven getting ahead of everybody else for 3rd position. He has his teammate Lol Gamer to play with. Every rev and Celiast in 5th and 6th at the moment. Celiast looking very, very slow on that middle sector, so she's not going to be of any kind of impact whatsoever for Team reWals Purple. But right now you see Eito under very big threat. This is where Celiast's last place could actually come into play. If Eito can keep it into 3rd place, it would still be the point for Team reWals Purple, and it will still be the point for reWals Purple because 6 plus 4 plus 1 equals 11 versus the 10 points of Team SHIFTy. Yami-chan with a .284 at the same time, being driven 5-2 for reWals Purple, who continue to press on their advantage. And whoever gifted the sub to Tomak, thank you very much. And now you can use the drink emote, by the way, Tomak, if you want to. Yami pretty fast. Yeah, he's a fast dude. In the meantime, moving on to our next round, we've got Yami-chan again going for a very, very stout start already. Oh, that was a very, very big sideways moment there for Raven. And Lol Gamer as well, who has lost a lot of time in that first sector, so he will be dropping 3/10 compared to the rest of the field, led by Yami-chan quite comfortably, actually, a 10th and a half ahead of Celiast. But Celiast is going to be having every rev in his mirrors. Oh, actually in her mirrors. And yeah, every rev and Raven swiftly going past Celiast. But with the 5th place from Eito, 1-4-5 will be enough for Team reWals Purple. Once again, getting the point mathematically speaking. 11-10. 6-2. Oh, new prime. Okay, so the team captain is gone this weekend. That's kind of unfortunate stuff to hear. So 6-2, one more round to win for Team reWals Purple, and then that would basically mean that they have the match win on their hands, as they would have won 2 sub matches already. So far, Yami-chan getting a really solid start. Every rev going very, very low just before the transition onto the bump road, and then onto the tube. Yami-chan continuing to lead. Every rev low gamer and Raven squarely ahead of Celias. And yeah, she's going to be continuing to lose time, going very, very close to missing the trigger of the checkpoint right there. But it's not really going to serve her cause that much. Unless there's going to be some slowdowns. Every rev the first to actually crack here in the middle sector, allowing Celias to move up into P4. But right now, it would still be in favor of Team SHIFTy, as second, third, and fifth would give them the numerical advantage. Yami-chan cannot do anything about that. It's Eito who's going to be missing at the call right here. Yami-chan, 0.344, Raven and Lol Gamer second and third. Where is Eito? Eito has retired. It was a 2-on-3 that did not pan out for the way of reWals Purple. 6-3. SHIFTy get another point on the board. The question is, though, are they able to sustain that momentum fair and square, or is it just a fluke? There is a very first crash very early in the round there for Team reWals Purple. That was Celias already leaving Eito and Yami-chan to try and pull off a magical kind of round. First and second is needed at all costs, otherwise it will be a draw, keeping the dream alive for Team SHIFTy. Following along with every rev, and there's really nothing in it. Less than 0.03 of a second between first and fifth. Going with every rev on board now. Yami-chan taking over the lead. But you can see Eito now being swarmed in the splits on the bottom right of the screen. Eito down to P4. Let's go along with him if we can find him. Eito under threat for third place from Raven and Lol Gamer. Raven trying to go ahead of the Frenchman for third position, and he's going to make the move stick. 1-3-5 should be enough for Team SHIFTy. Every rev 1, 2, 3, and there's going to be 2 retirements. Actually, everybody's retired for Team reWals Purple. So SHIFTy wins the round, gifting an AA ace to Team SHIFTy. Bonks at the very end of the map for both Eito and Yami-chan. But still, Yami-chan, the absolute monster on this map. 54 points scored, 20 more than Raven. Following with every rev again, as he gives us a good overview in the midfield. Yami-chan, Eito, Celias, 1, 2, 3. This time they're trying to make amends from the previous round, and Ever is going to be barrel rolling into retirement, just like Lol Gamer did at the beginning of the map. And I think that might be the end of it for Team SHIFTy in this sub-match. Alea jacta est, as we would say in Latin. Lol Gamer trying to make a good effort, moving up into second at the expense of both Elias and Eito, and now Raven trying to move up into third place at the expense of both of these players. Is he going to be able to move stick at the end? No, he's going to be sticking into P4! Barely 1/1000th of a second behind Celias, but that's going to be the GG for Team reWals Purple, who are going to be taking the win 7-4 in this second sub-match, and with 2 sub-match wins out of 3, they are already your winners for this third round matchup. Now, are we going to be seeing the teams play on Danger the Manifold, or are we going to be seeing, nah? I think we're going to be seeing map 3 being played regardless. So, reWals Purple, and prediction. Just like the last time, we're going to run the prediction on this third sub-match just for shits and giggles. So, sub-match 3, and you guys have, starting now, 5 minutes to actually get your predictions in once again for the last sub-match of the day. So, Mosh stepping in, Karma stepping in as well, Raven staying in, Switch filling in for Celias. That means every Rev and Lol Gamer have been moved onto the bench. In the meantime, reWals Gold Bone won both maps 1 and 2 versus JUT, so 2 pretty swift victories for the reWals gold outfits. Wondering if we're live? I don't think so. We might be, I don't know. Either way. Hello, Celiast, and yeah, congrats to your team for the win, man. Well, I say man, but I was trying to... I wonder... Is the pronoun actually her? Is the pronoun actually her for you, or is it something else? I might have messed this up real bad. I just wanted to ask confirmation to you directly, just to make sure that I don't mess it up the next time. Score, yeah, she, her. Okay, so 7-0, 7-4 for now for team reWals Purple. Yeah, 2-0. And so far on the first round, it will be Yami-chan taking an early lead with a 52.011. Mosh in second, then Karma in third, and it will be the point for Team SHIFTy actually, with Mosh and Karma second and third, and Raven in P5. So 1-0 for Team SHIFTy. I hope to see you at Cologne. I'm going to Cologne. Have you? Oh, I think. Are you thinking of going to Cologne actually, Celiast? That'd be dope. Okay, following the perspective of Karma right now, and so far it's a really great start for all of the reWals Purple. You're going to XP-Evo? Well, we're gonna meet each other there, that's for sure, because I'm going as as one of the casters. So there's that. Either way, so far, going into the final sector switch, Yami-chan and Eito, 1, 2, and 3 looking very poised, although Raven looking very, very racy towards the end of the map, towards the final wall ride, and the final little turnover. I guess we can call that a turnover as well, because you actually just go for 180. 51.696 being driven by Switch, 0.864 by Yami-chan, and 0.911 by Eito. So yeah, pretty solid times being driven all together. Let me try to check on the times. Times usually, for the context, it's a 51.131, the current record. Man, this is gonna be such a cool thing to actually meet up a lot of people in Cologne. This is gonna be super dope. Yami and Switch having a pretty solid start, going hand in hand. Eito pulling just ahead of Raven and trying to catch up to his teammates. Raven, in the meantime, can't really do anything at this moment. He needs to have help from one of his teammates, but both of their teammates are a little bit unavailable right now, as Mosh and Karma are, yeah, quite a ways down. Actually, Karma looking very close to the wall, and actually so close that he actually briefly touched it. So yeah, Raven is all on his own to try and dislodge someone from Team reWals Purple. He's trying to make the move stick. Again, teleportation making it a little bit too hard to read. Eito continues to soak up the pressure and resist the assault of Raven, but not for long. There we go, Raven moving up into third at the expense of Eito for 21 thousandths of a second. In the meantime, Switch driving a 0.501, PBing right in the middle of the match. MD Gaming, yeah. That's some huge gaming right there. So yeah, reWals Purple getting currently the point 2-1 and taking the lead in that third sub match, following along with Raven, having a pretty solid start just up ahead of Switch. Eito taking over the lead at the end of the sector number 1. We also see Yami-chan now moving up into second position, or battling for second position at the very least at the entry into this turnover section. Karma trying to back up his teammates. Switch down in P5 and already one retirement, one casualty. That being, seems like Eito, who's been forced to retire. Switch moving up into third place. Yami-chan into the lead of the race. Raven in P2. Mosh in P4, trying to find the proper guy to follow. Following Switch at the moment in third place. Raven looking a little bit slow on the exit, but it will still stay in second position. 0.631 being driven by Yami-chan. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks as though that will be the end of it. 2 retirements to note here in this particular round. Karma and Eito not scoring any points whatsoever for their respective teams. It will still mean the point for reWals Purple, who will lead 3-1 in that map. Yami-chan pulling clear about 1/10 of a second ahead of Eito. 0.5 of a second. Okay, I was maybe a little bit optimistic when I tried to judge a gap by eye, but Still, a pretty staggering start by Yami-chan. Eikto continuing to try and catch up to his teammate. Switch in the meantime, dislodging Raven for third. Oh, that's a heavy crash. Very heavy crash for Yami-chan, as you saw. And then we'll also see Eikto very, very slow. So Raven promoted up from 4th to 2nd position. And now on the assault versus Switch. Switch looking a little bit slower compared to Raven. But Raven was looking to get a little bit too far off the right side. Biting off more than he could chew. And now it's Eikto versus Karma battling for 2nd position. It will be 2nd place for Karma by a matter of thousandths of a second. 18 thousandths of a second, as a matter of fact. Only 51 driven this round by Switch, and only 3 players having made it to the finish line. Yami-chan, Raven, and Mosh all being forced to retire, not scoring any points. 4-1. Raven having to risk to catch up to Switch. As we move on to our next round now. Eikto getting a really strong start. A 10th and a half ahead of the battle for 2nd position. This time it's Yami-chan having the advantage just ahead of Raven. Switch trying to take away 3rd place from Raven, trying to set up his attack. As we go through that section right here, which can be very, very tricky, and you can see Raven trying to go a little bit more conservative, but will be a little bit slower compared to Switch, who will be dislodging and deposing Raven from that 3rd position. AAAs potentially on the cards for Team reWals Purple for the first time on this map here. Eikto, Yami-chan, Switch in that order, which will stay as is. 0.675 being driven by Eikto, 0.960 by Yami-chan, and a 52.177 by Switch. MD 5-1 with the proper way to finish it in style. Raven not finishing the round, meaning that all 3 reWals Purple players will be trusting the top 3 in the live points ranking, as you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen. Ooh, that is very, very strong from the entire reWals Purple crew. No one from Team SHIFTy looking to make any kind of challenge whatsoever in the first sector. Look at this. Look at the gap that has been built between the entire group until Eikto had a little bit of a moment there, it must be said. They were regrouped all together, a 10th and a half clear of Raven. Unfortunately, huge crash for Eikto, so he will be out of the running. That means it's all down to Yami-chan and Switch to do the 1-2 necessary to get the points. And it looks as though that will be heading this way, as Raven is way too far back to make any kind of attack whatsoever. Yami-chan will be taking the win just ahead of Switch with a 0.686. Still pretty decent times being driven over there. As, yeah, that will be the 6th point on this map, going the way of reWals Purple. One more round to complete. Not quite a clean sweep, but still a pretty convincing victory for Team reWals Purple as we head past the halfway point in the group stage for FullSpeed Masters Season 2. Again, following along with Raven, getting a pretty solid line through that opening turnover. The entry to the tube was looking a little bit premature, a little bit safe there for Raven. That will allow Yami-chan to move up into the lead just along with Switch in 2nd position, who are going to be tandeming this together, hand in hand. Eikto trying to also dislodge some people like Karma and Raven. Oh, we've had a little bit of a deviation from Yami-chan. He was looking to go a little bit too far below, so that will allow Karma, Raven, and Eikto to move from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Oh, Mosh also going ahead. This is not good for Team reWals Purple here on this particular round, because, yeah, that would be the checkerboard in favor of Team SHIFTy. Actually, Eikto in P3, this could still be on the cards to make it a draw. Eikto trying to move up into 2nd place ahead of Karma. Doesn't make it happen. 0.681. So 11-10. That is the GG. G to the G for Team reWals Purple. They win 11-10 here. So, final score. 7-0, 7-4, 7-1.